Hello everyone, this is Sumerian, and this is episode 16 of Building a Toy Box from Scratch. And in this episode, we're going to do a bit more tweaking and then a bit more testing as well. This time when we test, we want to test and see if we can't get the gameplay to work all the way through. So when I say tweaking, the first thing I'm thinking about is we got all the trees and the fire happening over here. I don't really need any trees or anything over here, but I want some trees over on this side of the terrain. I don't need a lot, nowhere near as packed as it is over here, but I do want some trees. And so first I'm going to throw down the Dino World power disk. No, I would not like to seam my entire world to it. And then we are going to start looking at stuff like that one. So a couple of those trees over here. Like I said, I don't want to have it massively crowded like it is over here, but I do want a good layout of trees here. Go like that. Have one over here. I want it to still be jungle-like, but I don't want it tight. So I'm thinking just a couple more trees. Maybe something like this fern here. Maybe a fern over by the water. I like that fern. And maybe a fern, a couple ferns. And maybe one more over here. It's looking pretty good. That other tree, I really like that thing. And of course, just by touching that thing, I have ensured that it does not want to fit back down. But I'll simply start with that. I think that hopefully that's the right direction. It is the right direction. There we go. And he's back. And that tree isn't really there. So let's go with I have a tree right there. And maybe one right there. Alright. I think that looks pretty good. We'll try it like that. Now the other thing we noticed the last game through was if the enemy falls off in this direction, he's not going to hit a trigger area, therefore he's not going to be destroyed right away, and therefore it's going to take a while for his noise to finally activate. And we are going to fix that. And how we're going to fix that is we're going to actually get rid of both of these trigger areas. Now I did that just so that I instantly have the trigger area on my tool now. And the idea is we are going to drag out a single trigger area. And they spawn here. The camera can't go past here. So let's just say we're going to go one down so that it's obviously not touching the train. And we're going to bring the trigger area out enough so that even if you're pushing away the whole time, and I'll even do it, cover it this way a bit just in case you somehow barely miss. But what you'll see is by doing just the one trigger area, I now have a trigger area covering the exact same hole here, and covering the same hole here, and covering all the land, or all the area if you fall off in this direction. So now I will just have one trigger area with one friend entered statement going to this logic gate here as an input, and that logic gate goes to the kill switch and to the sound generator. Perfect. That works well for me. Okay, so we've done our vegetation over on this side. I don't want any fire over here. This is the safe area. Past the river is safe, so we don't want to put fire there. Only the fire is going to be on this side. Alright, so we are going to test the entire game through and see how well we can do just playing it how it's meant to be played. And of course, before we do that, we are going to save the game. So I'll just save the game and we'll be right back. Alright, so we saved the game and now we are going to run through a test of the gameplay. And we'll do the whole thing, including the instructions. Now you'll see I still haven't put a title on this challenge maker. I still haven't put a description. But I'm not going to bother putting the description just because of the way we're going to start it. And we'll talk about that when we get ready to save it as an actual game. But I do usually like to put a title on challenge maker before it's all said and done. So welcome to the jungle. Unfortunately, we have a big problem we were hoping you could help us out with. Do you require instructions before we continue? Now we've already tested the continue, so let's test the cancel to make sure that works. So I'm going to hit cancel. Who can help save the most jungle animals? And as I said before, the cancel is going to go to the last line of text from the instructions. And yeah, that should be good. So let's hit continue. Alright, so we're going to move around. That was Timon. The fire looks pretty good from this angle. Move Timon up, so he's going to go over that. Now, if we go all the way over here, all we see is cliff. That's good. Go over here. Bring Timon down enough so that he's going to pass that hole. And perfect. Timon should have a clear shot to safety. And we have the cheering. And we also heard a monster at the same time, so it's probably a Yeti coming. And there's a Yeti. Kermit's going to be safe there. Yeti's going above. And Kermit, we scored with Kermit. That's all good. Yeti looks like he's going to be pretty good. And here comes, there's our first fire has spawned in our way on the train. It's not really going to affect us much with how we're doing right now. And of course, when you're testing, don't always assume your gameplay is a lot easier just because you've tested quite a few times and you're going to know the hang of it right away. This is something that it's going to take people a few tries or a few attempts before they figure out there's an easy little pattern here. And so don't rush to make it harder, because then by the time people are going to try it once, and it's going to be way too hard, they're going to hate it and they're never going to try it again. And, okay, so here comes Dumbo. And our second fire has spawned. Now that one's not really in our way yet, so we'll just say, hey Dumbo, keep going that way. Pumbaa's gone up. Bring Pumbaa back down to right about there. That was a lion roar, so that's Tigger coming. So we should have another fire popping up soon. Fire that's going to be slightly annoying. There's Tigger. There it is. That fire is going to definitely be annoying. Alright, so I want to put him down to there and run over here to catch Cricket. I might have put the Yeti down too far. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he made it. And then we'll put the Cricket right there. Get over here, get the next Cricket. Wow, that wasn't annoying at all. Get that Cricket there. Now, like I said, and I just said it before, is don't instantly panic and think your game is too easy. Oh, someone got stopped. Oh, there's a fire right there now. That will make things less pleasant. So, let's see if we can save him before he hits that fire. I don't think I can. No. So now we have to start making judgment calls. Someone just hit the fire over there. And there. Now he's safe. Run over. See, now it starts to get more and more difficult. You can't save them all. It's just not possible to save them all. But you can save most of them. Oh, and that fire is just gonna be stinky. Yep. No. Oh. See, now it definitely gets a lot harder. Alright, so bring Kermit up. At this point, I'm just going to ignore the other animals that are spawning and see if I can't get Kermit through here. Bring him up a bit. Bring him down a bit. Bring him down a bit, and there we go. And I haven't lost control once. I've gotten control of every animal I've panned over, so that's great. That means we're doing really great. Our fix has obviously helped our logic out. And that Yeti's gonna be good. And there we go. Our time has run out. Our challenge maker is up. And our score was 96. Not bad at all. And that's why we raised the score up to a high amount, because if you think about it, 96 is just, what? The score is 8, so 8 times 12? So that's 12 townspeople we crossed in 5 minutes, so a score of 12 would be not too impressive, but then 96 sounds pretty good. So there we go, we tested it all the way from the start to the end, and it tested good. Which is great. The only thing we haven't tested, and like I said, you test again and again and again and again until it drives you nuts, is now that we've replaced this trigger area, I don't think I actually had a townsperson fall into a hole or overside, just to prove what should be pretty obvious, is that when the input hits this logic gate, it goes to that kill switch over there. But we should test that, so we're going to test that. Yeah, I'll just reload the box real quick and we'll test it. We won't play the whole game through, but we're going to test that. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we just reloaded. We ended up back here. And I just want to double check that that weird tree that turned red and glitchy on us is not here when we reload, and it's not. So now I just want to double check having a townsperson fall off the side or fall into one of the holes there. And I was so busy testing the gameplay, I never scrolled over to see how the jungle looks to the left. So we're also going to check that out. So I'm not going to do the instructions. Trust me, I will test the instructions more and make sure they're working just perfectly. I'm going to come over here first. And see, I didn't want to add too many trees because I knew not all of them would be visible, but I like it. Kind of like it. That works for me. So, into the hole you go. Perfect. Perfect. And let's knock him off the edge, wherever we want. That works perfect as well. So I think we are good. Let's knock him right off the edge. Again, works excellent. The smoke's looking good. The fire's burning good in the forest. Trees on the other side are looking pretty good. I like that there's a waterfall there coming up to this pond. Fire just formed here. I have control. I'm liking it. These tests are actually coming out pretty good. So we're going to end the episode here. And I believe in the next episode, we've actually come to the point where the next episode is going to be doing the final tweaks and also saving the game so that it's going to play exactly how we want. And then the end of the episode will probably just actually be submitting the toy box for the challenge. So again, this has been Sumerian. This has been episode 16, which lets me know that episode 17 should be our final episode. Thank you for joining me on all these episodes, and I will see you in the final episode that will be coming up soon. Have yourselves all a wonderful day.